Welcome to the Best Known Church Show, where we show you how to 10x your reach with church marketing that will help you increase your impact, make more disciples, and become the cornerstone of your community again. This is for the leaders with an outrageous vision, because anything less would be an inaccurate reflection of our Creator. The ones who have unreasonable faith, because you know God works unreasonable miracles. And the ones who are relentless in the pursuit of your calling, because anything less would not make a good and faithful servant. If that's you, you're in the right place. Now, please welcome your host and guide on this journey to become the best known organization in your community, Justin Nava.
Welcome to the Best Known Church Show. I'm your host, Justin, and today we're going to talk about how to get your Easter guests to come back. And it's probably simpler than you think and simpler than a lot of people make it out to be. What would it look like? I mean, let's really think about this. As the time of this recording, Palm Sunday's coming up. We've got Easter in about 9 days. What would it look like if you see an increase in your church guests on that Sunday morning, Palm Sunday or Easter, and you continue to see that same increase the following Sundays, to the point where that Easter Sunday, that monumentous attendance, you see less of the pews than you normally see because there's people in them. There's more conversations being had in the hall. There's more kids running around the building, and your facilities man or woman is like, this is driving me crazy. And you're like, isn't it great? What would it look like if instead of just one Sunday a year, it happened multiple Sundays a year? The best way to solve the problem is to create 100 more. And I want to help you create more problems of how do we deal with more people on Sunday because they keep coming back after Easter. I'm going to break down in this show, I'm going to break down how you can simply make it easy for them to come back. The number one way to get right into their heart, to make them realize that you do actually care about them. And then what does proper Easter follow-up look like, even if you're a church of 30, okay? And we're going to talk about, some issues that I think a lot of marketers are ruining for the church. And I'm going to be straight up honest with you. So if you're ready to listen to that or watch that wherever you're watching, like, subscribe, let me know that you're in tune and you are ready to go. What does it look like to see an increase in your people coming back after Easter? I can tell you a few years ago at my church, we decided we were going to not just invite the parents back, not just invite the guests back, but specifically invite the parents back by way of their kids. And so instead of making a big deal about Easter Sunday, we actually made a big deal about Sunday school, Easter Sunday school, okay? And what that looked like is very simple. We went all out. We got extra crafts. We got extra good stuff. We made sure the lesson was extra tight and, just extra planned. The drama had extra props. We went out in a similar way that lots of churches go all out for their Easter service. We went all out, but just for our kids. And we were a smaller church of about 120 at the time. All right. Now, Easter, where we were, is not necessarily the Super Bowl. It's a primarily Catholic and Pentecostal area, but we still see a rise in attendance, about 30% more people. So you do the math on congregation size on Easter Sunday. So we weren't doubling, but we definitely had more people. And we intentionally set it up to where the kids would have a lot of fun. The kids would learn, of course, a valuable lesson. This wasn't daycare, okay? This was Sunday school. We made it purposeful and intentional and on mission. But we also made sure that we didn't give the parent, we didn't give all the guests special gifts. We gave the kids special gifts. We gave them a special little gift bag of goodies, trinkets, let them take crafts home, encourage them, tell your parents how much fun this was. If you had fun, right? Don't lie if you didn't have fun. Tell them, be honest with us too. And then we also included in that gift bag a little note for the parents, including what we were coming up to teach about in the following Sundays. We saw a lot more people coming back because we gave them something to come back to. And so that kind of leads to my first point here is, are you making it completely obvious and clear that you want your Easter guests to come back? It's kind of like when you walk into a store and you kind of walk around, and people are friendly because they're paid to be, right, customer service. But then you walk out, and that's it. You're done. Your experience is over. I'm not going to go back to that store. In fact, there's a local market in our downtown area, and there are some stores that treat me like that. And hey, if that's how you run your business, that's how you run your business. But I will walk in that store, smell some coffees, look at some shirts, whatever they got, and I will walk right out. And even though I got told hello, I may never get told goodbye. There are other stores like the popcorn shop that I will walk in. Hey, glad to see you. Would you like to try a sample? We just cooked this. Love to have you here. Pay, rewards program, and all that stuff. And as I'm throwing away my trash and getting ready, or just walking out the door, say, hey, by the way, next week we've got a special flavor coming out at you. We're going to make the switch from fresh hot chocolate to fresh sundaes as the weather warms up. And that is a place that I always, anytime we're downtown, even if we're just driving through, I'm always thinking, do I want to stop and get some popcorn? Because they make it fun to get popcorn. They make it fun for me to give them my money for some popcorn that I could make at home, right? And I'm sure you've had that experience as well. There are some places you enjoy to go because it's enjoyable to go, even though it might be a painful process. And there are some places that you go to that you're looking forward to, but because the people aren't friendly, because they didn't ask you to come back, or because there's no follow-up, you see where I'm going with this? You really don't think about it, and you really don't care to go back. So a danger that we come into as churches is we hype up Sunday morning, Easter Sunday, okay? And I'm sorry, guys, I have very little sleep this week. Easter's coming up, right? We're all losing sleep, okay? But we always hype up Easter Sunday, but we don't hype up the rest of the year. And the problem with that is if you make it sound like you just care about them on Easter Sunday, guess what? They're only going to care about you on Easter Sunday. And so you have to make sure that you make it aware that, yes, Easter is a great time to come to church. It's a great time to keep up the tradition of taking your family. I know your mom's probably dragging you over there, but there's something here, but there's also something here the rest of the year. And I think this is what a lot of pastors get at when they say, we don't want to be a programmatic church or a consumer church. I agree with you. I don't want you to be that either. So stop promoting yourself like that. Stop going all out on Easter Sunday and go all out on this is what we're about every Sunday. In fact, every day of the week. And continue the follow-up. Continue the invite. Continue to show that you care. Right? So many churches, you only know they exist because they only put Easter banners out and Easter invite cards. And then afterwards, they cease to exist. They disappear from the city because they stop inviting. They stop promoting. They stop sharing. They stop wanting to get people excited because guess what? There probably isn't much to get excited for. So continue the invite culture. Make it known that you want people to come back. Now, let me go into the secret sauce to get into the real heart of people. And this will work for most churches. Now, if you're an older church, and I tell this all the time, I love my older congregation churches. We just onboarded another one. I think it's very important that we have churches in the community that are reaching out to the older generation, while other churches seem to only be wanting to chase after the young families, right? And so I love these guys. However, those older churches may not have kids ministries, or they may have nurseries, but the kids might just be in service with the grandparents. This may not work. You may have to massage this, okay? Exactly as I'm going to explain it to you here today. You may have to massage it a little bit, but it can still work. You just got to put in a little more effort. And that is, like I shared before, reaching to the kids, okay? I think a lot of times the kids ministry, even though we may give them the biggest budget, we may hire that as the first full-time staff ministry. When it comes to Easter, kids sometimes go on the back burner. And so I want to make sure that you really impress upon the kids, we're glad you're here. I mean, the goal is you want the kids to be bugging their parents. I want to go back. I can't wait to go back. One of my favorite things was when my daughter would say, when is Awana every week now? Like, are we going back every week? Because that was so much fun. Like, I love that, right? I want that for all of your kids. So start with the kids. Instead of, what are we going to do great and grand and celebrate an Easter Sunday? Yes, you're going to answer that question, but start with the kids. Okay. Give your kids pastor or minister or director all the money, right? And say, what can we do to really show these kids that we care about them and show that we want them to come back? And so the easiest way to do this is to make Easter the start of something, meaning Easter isn't a one-time thing and then come back next week when we start something else, right? A lot of times we do that in Sunday too. This works for the grown-ups too, right? Isn't it funny how so many things that work for kids work for grown-ups too? Don't make Easter the start and end of something and then say, come back next week when we start this. Starting things is hard, guys. You already got them there for Easter, so start there. Make the following Sunday a continuation of the experience. And don't make it a reset. So when the kids come there, make it the start of something. Start a new series, a new lesson plan, start a new craft series, right? I love it when crafts bleed into the week. And so like 1 week you might make a fan, the next week you might make a hat, the next week you might make a little purse or wallet. And by the end of the series, they've got a whole wardrobe. And you can tie that into how we have the whole armor of God and the different pieces, kind of like we have the different pieces of our wardrobe. And I remember as a kid, like I have a wallet just like my dad. That's pretty cool. And whatever, right? I think I put a little Bible track in it. But make it the start of something, not a one-time thing. If you treat Easter Sunday for your kids as a one-time thing, they're not going to care to come back, right? So make it the start of something so they have a reason to come back. If this was the start, then hey, next week should be more of the same. Not only that, another good thing you can do is give the kids a gift, right? And give them a special gift that's made for Easter. You don't have to go all out. If you're watching this the week before Easter, this is something you can do during lunch or after work if you're bivocational, like a lot of the pastors I know that follow me and listen to me. Just go get some nice little, what do they call, Mylar gift bags, some ties. My wife's really good at this stuff. And just get some candy, some little trinkets from the dollar store. Get some toy, I don't know if you can get toy soldiers, toy cars, little toy hairbrushes, dolls, I don't know, whatever trinkets the kids, fidget spinners if you want to spend a little bit more, little treasure boxes you can get that have a little piece of candy inside, something like that. Just something to give the kids, all right? Little trinkets, little candies if you're comfortable with that. I know candy is sometimes, you got to be careful with that sometimes, right? Even our Easter eggs, we got to put gummy candies because some kids can't have peanut butter, some kids can't have chocolate. It's a whole deal. But we do with what we can. What's the phrase? Anyways, we make do with what we can. There we go. So, put something in there and then, give them something to take home. Craft is great. I don't know why Shrinky Dinks are still so popular during VBS and kids ministries. Kids love Shrinky Dinks. I'd love to do an Easter Shrinky Dink. But give them a little gift bag to come home and make sure you include something for mom and dad. Hey, mom and dad, here's what your child learned. And go the extra step and make a little space there for the teacher to write something by hand. Okay. Now it might not be the main teacher, it might be an assistant, right? Hopefully, I think ideally your Sunday schools, right, have two leaders in there. So one leader's teaching, the other leader's writing notes. And just, hey, great to meet Maya today. She's so passionate and she's so caring. She made so many friends. We loved meeting her and I would love to see her back next week. So the card kind of lays out like, hey parents, thanks for bringing your kids. Hope you had a good time. Today we learned this and next week we're learning this. And then a little note at the bottom. Could even be a post-it note, right? Who cares? It's just a note. It's the effort that counts with this kind of thing. But to come home with a little handwritten note, I don't know if your kids' schools do this, but when my child comes home with a report card, there is a little note from the teacher that specifically says Jill is doing so much better at math and she's enjoying this. And here's one thing we need to work on for the next 6 weeks. So that note means more to me than the rest of the report card. I care less about grades, but that note, is she being a good human being, is what I care about. So if you put a little note there, then it's not just everyone gets this. It's we really loved having your child. And then not only that, invite the parents back, right? When the parents got to come get the kids, right? So talk to the parents. I think this is a little tougher if you're in a small church. So again, if you're putting kids at the forefront, you're getting extra leaders and workers, extra greeters to go hang out in the kids area. If your teacher can't spend one-on-one time with each parent and just say, we're so glad you're here. He is so rambunctious and he loves to climb. That's so great. His favorite toy was this. And, I would love to see him again. I don't think I've seen him here. If this is this your first Sunday? We'd love to have you come back too. And, I think Pastor said next week we're talking about this, right? It's just a conversation. It's not, hey, thanks for coming. We'd love to have you back tomorrow or next Sunday. Like everyone says that. Go the extra mile. So, make Easter the start of something for the kids. Give them something to take home. Give them something personal for the parents and invite them back. Which leads me to my last point here. And I'm going to try not to get on a soapbox with this. But we have to put in some hard elbow grease, some hard work the week after Easter. Okay? When it comes to getting your Easter guests back, and I don't know why a lot of churches have a problem with this. We shouldn't. And I think this is one of the things that we've gotten too nice about, is following up with our guests. Okay? And I know some people say, well, yeah, we follow up. You're not following up enough. The 3 rules to following up. Number 1, follow up. Number 2, follow up. Number 3, follow up. You want a 4th? Even when you're tired, you feel like you've annoyed them and you feel like there's nothing else to say. Number 4, follow up. We have a moral obligation as shepherds and what I hope should be community leaders, okay? A moral obligation to say there is something greater that has invited you into a relationship with him. There is something more to your life. There is more for you. And we need to invite people back. It's kind of like I see these videos all the time on social media. I liked it one time and now it's all I see. And it's okay. It's okay. Which is the people that go around and say, hey, can I borrow $1 for lunch? And the guy gives them $1 and they're like, well, actually, I don't need this. I was looking for someone nice. Here's $500. I don't know if you've seen that on TikTok or YouTube or Facebook, but you know, they're looking for the people that want it the most, and they're letting them know, hey, I know you're a single dad here, you're with your kid, but you wanted to feed my kid, or you're here in the library and you're busy, but you took time out for me, so I want to take time out for you and help you. How much even more is the life-saving message of Christ? And so it is our moral obligation to follow up with our guests that took the initiative to come and visit us. Now we need to take the initiative to invite them back. And I mentioned before, you know, you have to make it known that you want them back. All right. And remember, if you forget anything else, remember this: an open invite is no invite. Okay. You cannot just say, we'd love to see you next Sunday. Hope you come back. That's not an invite back. That's fulfilling not a moral obligation, but like that's checking a box. Okay, let's check in the same box right next to go to church on Sunday. Now I'm good. I invited them back. Now I'm good. No. Okay, we have a moral obligation to follow up and be consistent. So I want to share with you the formula. This is the definitive follow-up formula for the week after Easter. I'm going to tell you 2 things right now. Number 1, it is some hard work. Okay, Pastor, if you're going to do it yourself, I think you can. Unless you get more than, say, 50 people on Easter Sunday, I think Pastor could do this. I think Pastor should do this, okay? But you can definitely get some staff to help you, and you can definitely get some software to help you. But let me go into point number 2. If you're in a church of less than 300, now, yeah, I'm just making up a number here. I'm saying 300. You don't need software to automatically follow up. Can you use it? Yeah. I would love to have you some, I make automated follow-up software. Our reachback campaign, go to reconnect.navachurchmarketing.com. Our reachback campaign is all automated, but we're following up with up to 500 people on that, okay? If you're a smaller church and you just got 20 or 30 people to follow up with, Pastor, you can do that. Your staff can do that by hand, or you can get some automation to do that. Text in Church. I think Tidely's got some follow-up stuff now. Different planning centers got some stuff now. Subsplash got some. Everyone's got some stuff now to follow up automatically. Okay, whatever management system you're using. Okay, but don't let not having automation or not knowing how to use it stop you from following up. Not only that, it will mean so much more to your guests when you follow up by hand versus putting them into a funnel, putting into an automated messaging system. Okay? We've gotten to the point now where we can spot that from a mile away. In fact, I run cold emails. Some people might be watching, some people come by and check it out because they're like, who's this guy that's emailing me, right? We run cold emails, but we do it by hand. Okay? We don't do automated, right? We actually look at your church. We actually do a little video, 90-second video. Hey, here's how we can help. And then we reach out to you to show you what we can do and how we can help your church. Okay. So that means a lot more to people. I get a lot more people talking to me because I'm not just, hey, wouldn't you like this? Click on this button to schedule a time now. It's the wacky inflatable arm flailing tube man of cold outreach. Anyways, automation can make things easier and it can save you time. And if you've got to scale up to more than 50 people probably, then yeah, automation is going to be pretty much necessary, but you can still follow it by hand as much as you can. Okay. So don't let automation or software people convince you that you can't do this without their software. Okay. I will always tell, I'm the one that does it for you, and I will tell you, you can do this, right? So follow up consistently, because it's your moral obligation, and put in the hard work and realize that even if you have to do it by hand, it is worth it. Because even if you invite 50 people by hand and only 5 come back, that's a lot more than following up with nobody and nobody comes back. Okay? So let me give you the definitive formula here of what you can do the week after Easter. I'm going to give you the steps. I'm going to give you the tool to use. They're all free. You already have them. And then I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of messaging. Now, I don't like writing messaging carte blanche. Is that the right word? A blanket message, because every church is unique. Every pastor is unique. I'm going to give you kind of like what you should convey, and then you actually come up with the specific wording. And if you ever have any questions, you can give me a call, 832-861-7654, and hey, let's talk it over. Let's see how we can help you. So, number 1, immediately after service. Pastors hate this, but let me tell you, when I get this call, I love it. Okay. Immediately after service, give them a call. Pastor, you go to the welcome center, you're talking to people, hey, great to see you. Blah, blah, blah. Go to your office, get the Connect cards, get the visitor cards, and don't forget, get the kids registration cards. Because even though they didn't turn in a Connect card, they gave you their phone number for their kids' registration. Call them too, okay? Again, moral obligation. Do whatever it takes to let them know that you want them back, all right? And give them a call. Now, what makes this so much easy is 98% of people are not going to answer this call, okay? And people will say, well, that's pointless. Why would I give them a call if they're not going to answer? Because you're going to leave a voicemail. A voicemail is better than nothing. Don't let these excuses stop you from fulfilling your moral obligation to follow up and let it be known that you care about these people. Okay? And I tell you this now because if I don't tell you you're going to leave a lot of voicemails, then you're going to feel defeated. This is the point. Okay? A voicemail is better than nothing at all. And in this call, in the voicemail, you just say, hey, this is let's say Pastor Ken. Appreciate you coming by. It was a pleasure to see you. I don't know if I got to shake your hand, but if I didn't, I would love to meet you again and invite you back to next week. And if there's anything we can do for your family, this is my personal number. You can call me or text me here. God bless. Right? If they do answer, hey, this is Pastor Ken. Good afternoon. The reason for the call is I just wanted to say thank you for coming to church today. I don't want to interrupt too much of what you're doing for the rest of the day. I know it's a holiday. I want you to enjoy your family, but I also want you to know how much we appreciate you coming. And I would love to personally invite you back to next week. Okay? If you want to go a step further, will we see you next week? Okay? Now, yeah, that's a little bit more aggressive. If that's not your vibe, I'll allow it this time. Okay? I would ask, hey, and by the way, will I see you next week? Let me ask you a question. Do you plan on coming back next week? Because even though they might not, they weren't planning on it, now you've planted that seed in their head. Remember, an open invite is no invite at all. All right, Sunday evening, touch number 2, okay? Connection point number 2. You're not going to call them. You're going to send them an email and a text. Email and a text, okay? Anytime you send an email, anytime you send a text, you should also send an email, okay? Just make that a hard and fast rule, okay? You call someone, they don't pick up, you send them an email. Hey, I tried to call you. You send them a text, also send them an email. Hey, but I texted you, but just in case you didn't get it, here it is again, all right? Or you do it backwards. Hey, I sent you this email, but here's a text just in case you didn't get it. In this text, you're just going to tell them again, hey, appreciate it again. I was thinking about you tonight. If there's anything I can do for your family or if there's any way I can pray for you, let me know. All right. Monday, what you're going to do is you're going to take out a piece of paper. You're going to take out a thank you card and you're going to personally handwrite a letter. Hey, this is Pastor so-and-so. Or if they brought kids, have the kids pastor. Take a break, pastor. Give it to the kids pastor, okay? Hey, I appreciate having your kids on Sunday. It was wonderful to get to meet them. We had so much fun. And next week we're talking about this. I would love to see Johnny back, Okay. Or it's want to let you know that we still really appreciate you coming. It was a pleasure to have you in service, and I would love to have you come back this Sunday. Okay. Again, you're making it known that you want them to come back. I'm not going to say don't be nice, right? Because all this should be nice. Okay. But I will say don't be so passive. All right. Jesus didn't say, if you want to enter the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven, maybe you want to consider being reborn. Right? No, he said, no one enters the kingdom unless they've been reborn. Period. Okay? Some people might have thought that was a little too aggressive. Okay? So you're going to be a little bit more aggressive than you usually are. And you're going to say, I would love to have you come back next Sunday. Don't leave it whiffly waffling. We'd love to have you come back someday. Someday. We'd love to see you again. I'd love to see you again this Sunday. Okay? You're going to write that on Monday, put it in the mail on Monday. Okay? Before the mail comes. So it should arrive to their house around Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Tuesday, you're gonna send them an email. Okay, this is one that you can send just an email. If you have what I'm about to tell you in video form, then it could make sense as a video or a text. You're gonna send an email just to share a story about the church. Okay, preferably a story of Sunday, something that happened on Easter Sunday. Now, ideally, this would be a testimonial, but it could just be a story. Hey, by the way, this is Pastor Ken, and I wanted to share with you a story of something that happened on Sunday while you were here. One of our kids asked this wonderful question. Said, who created God? And we got to share that with this child, and it made me realize how much you need an ally, parent. You need support to help you guide your kids on the right path. And, and then you turn that into the action. This Sunday, we're talking about this, and I'd love to answer more questions for you and your kids. Will you come on Sunday? It could just be a general testimonial. It could be something that happened a year ago, right? We had a guy come sick. God healed him. I don't know, whatever that story is. Send that to him as an email. If you want to go an extra step, make a little web page for it. Put a little video on your site or a little write-up on your site. Basically, take the email, put it on your site, and then text that link to the number. So they get it as an email and they still get it as a text. On Wednesday, that letter should come in. And usually, I'll admit, Wednesdays are pretty busy for pastors and seemingly a lot of parents. So if you do take off, as long as you got that letter out on Monday, I give you permission to take Wednesday off. I wouldn't. I would give them another call, preferably from someone else. Okay? Children's pastor, groups leader, just a random person that's involved in a church, a lay leader. One of the greatest things that happened when I was secret shopping a church was someone that wasn't a leader. Someone wasn't a group leader even, but she invited me to her young college ministry group. Okay. Cause I was in college, or around college age. And she was a nobody to me, right? She was just a morally obligated church attender. Right? So how much more better is it when it's not just the pastor, it's also someone from the church? Man, these guys really want me to come back. They really care about me. On Thursday, share another story. Okay, same thing. Hey, you may not have heard about this, but our church paid off $1 million of debt last year. This is how much we care about our community. And in fact, I'm talking about that this Sunday, and I want to invite you back just to this Sunday. Just this Sunday. Take it one Sunday at a week, one Sunday at a time. And then Friday, you're going to take a little selfie video. Hey, John, this is Pastor Ken. Wanted to personally, again, thank you. I know I've been sending you a lot of communications, but that's how much that your visit means to us. And my gift to you is to let you know that I haven't forgotten about you and I really want to meet you again. And in fact, we're going to have a special lunch with the pastor or coffee with the pastor before. Love to see you there. Whatever, right? You want to make something exciting for people to come back to. So you're going to take a little video out and you're just going to let them know that you've been thinking about them, praying for them, and let you know if there's any way that you can support them and invite them back to Sunday. Okay? And then you're going to do another text email invite on Saturday. Okay? Now, don't just say, hey, John, Pastor Ken here. I'd love to invite you back tomorrow. Okay? You need to make it about them. All right. Hey, we're having special coffee before a special coffee meet and greet before. Love to meet you. Love to meet your family. The kids are doing this. All this so you can have you don't have to be alone, right? I really appreciate you having here Sunday. I really believe that God showed you something, and I want to make sure that that candle that flame doesn't get put under a basket, right? Whatever. Again, send it in your kind of vibe. Now, at a couple things. At any point during this follow-up system, if they tell you no, you stop, okay? You're not going to chase the uninterested. The best way to devalue your ministry is to chase people that are not interested, okay? This is going to be that moment where you knock on a door, they refuse you, and you move on, just like Jesus told the 72. Was it 72? So you're going to, if they say no, don't chase the uninterested, okay? If they are apathetic, those are the best people to continue to follow up with because they haven't made a decision, okay? If they say yes, yeah, absolutely, I'll be there. Great. Follow up some more, okay? Now you have something to follow up for. Hey, by the way, this is so-and-so. Wanted to share this story with you. And by the way, I know you said you're coming, so I am so excited for you to see something like this in person. Or I'm going to share this story with you. And by the way, you said you're coming Sunday. She's going to be here, and you can ask her about it in person. You send that video invite. Hey, this is Pastor so-and-so. I said a quick prayer for you that nothing comes up. I'd love to meet you again on Sunday. And I can't wait for you to see whatever. Okay. Again, you're doing this by hand. Yes, it's going to take some extra time, but they will see that. All right. They will see and take notice of it. Now, notice I said by hand when you're thinking, well, email, I can blind carbon copy people, right? I can write one email. No. You're going to personalize it. You're going to write it to each person. Now you can copy paste and change the name, but you're going to send it to one email at a time. All right. For some pastors, that's scary. And they say, I don't want to do that. That's a lot of work. And I'm going to tell you that's why your Easter guests are not coming back. If you want what you've never had, you have to do what you've never done. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you one bonus here. Let me wrap that up again. Let me just say that one more time, just so you get a full overview. Okay. You're going to follow up. What is that? 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're going to follow up 8 times in 7 days, starting before they get home for lunch. Okay. And ending the Saturday afternoon before. You're going to follow up 8 times. You're going to let them know 8 times that you care about them, you appreciate them, and you're going to invite them back 8 times. Is it a lot? Yes. But it's a lot. It's necessary because we have a moral obligation. It is our duty to always be inviting, to always follow up. So you're going to call Sunday after church. You're going to send them an email or a text Sunday evening. You're going to send them a letter on Monday and text them if you haven't already. Hey, is there anything I can pray for you specifically over? And by the way, if someone says, yeah, pray for me over this, or yeah, I have it unspoken, always reply back, can I call you and pray over the phone with you? Always. Again, follow up. Take it to the next level. If you want to create a relationship in which they engage and plug in, give them ways to engage and plug in. Don't leave the ball in their court. Take it in yours. You're going to send them a story or a testimony on Tuesday and Thursday. On Wednesday, someone else should make a contact, give you a break. The letter should be arriving on Wednesday as well. Send them a video invite on Friday, and then send them one final invite, text or email. Hey, 24 hours, we're going to be talking about this. I really want to see you there, John. Okay. As a bonus, okay, if this is your first time doing something like this, don't worry about the bonus unless you really want to go extra. The bonus is more for future impact, and that is going to be to get a review. And I don't want you to treat asking for a review like you're just asking for a 5-star review in nice, shallow words. I want you to actually treat it like you're getting feedback on your church, your community, your congregation, and your leadership, essentially. So what you can do is take one of these days, probably Tuesday or Thursday, and say, by the way, I'd love to know how you felt about Sunday. If you had to give it a rating from 1 to 5, what would you give it? Okay. And when they reply back with a number, then if it's a 4 or a 5, you can say, thanks. Would you mind leaving this kind of your feedback on our Google review page or a Facebook review page or a Yelp review page? Pick one. If they give you a 1, 2, or 3, which not a lot of people will, even if it was a 1, 2, or 3 for them. And then you can follow back up. I want to make this right. Please tell me what we need to improve on. And sometimes it might not be anything. It might be you went too hard in the Bible or you preached something I don't agree with. Well, you can't do anything about that. And get that feedback. Okay. This is something that we do for our clients. It's normally part of our Definitive Church Marketing Method program. But if you want to do just this, just for Easter, we're doing a one-time, normally it's also a continuing program. We're going to do it for a one-time Easter blast. Comment down below if you want in on that, or send me a message, schedule a call on our website. I didn't do a good job of I just had this idea. I was like, man, we need to get this feedback after Easter. Because what a great time to capitalize on people paying attention to our church and to really think about, did they enjoy this? And if you get them thinking about, did I enjoy this? You get them thinking about the next time they can enjoy it. And it makes the comeback so much easier. So as a little bonus, ask for a review. Okay. And again, don't just send them a Google link and say, would you leave a review for us? Ask them first hey, I appreciate you having you here. By the way, if you had to rate this 1 to 5, what would you rate it? And then follow up collecting that feedback. Okay. And again, if it's a 1, 2, or 3, you got to address it. Hit the nail on the head. Don't just leave it. Oh, well, they didn't like it. Find out why. It might not be teaching. It might be something that happened. Something that you can and should prevent. All right. The whole theme of today is people will not know how much you care about them unless you make it known how much you care about them. I cannot tell you how many pastors and church leaders say, no one's ever cared about me as much as you, Justin, because you're always following up with me. Right? And yeah, I've had some pastors and church leaders say, stop it. You're annoying me. Why would I ever work with you with someone that annoys me? You know what? They're a better fit for someone else. But I did my job to try to help them. And I don't feel bad about that. Okay? So if you let people know you only care about them on Easter, they're only going to care about you, and they're only going to feel cared about on Easter. Let them know you care about them the week after that, and for the remainder of the year. All right. If you have any questions, you can send me an email, hello@navachurchmarketing.com. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that jazz. If you don't like it, hit the don't like button. I want to know, can we improve? Leave a rating down below, 1 to 5. How did you feel about today's show? God bless you guys. I don't think we're going to do a show next week. It is Easter week. I will be traveling to see my family. I know you guys are going to be so busy preparing and praying and getting last minute stuff going on. So I'm not... I might do a little something, but it won't be a full show like this. God bless you guys. Have a fantastic Palm Sunday weekend, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks. God bless.
That's going to do it for today's episode of the Best Known Church Show with Justin Nava. Be sure to subscribe to stay updated on the latest news, strategies, and resources that you need to reach 10x more people and become the best known in your community. To send us a message or leave a voicemail for Justin to be played on a future show, visit thebestknownchurchshow.com. And if you'd like to work with us so you can focus on your ministry, give us a call at 832-861-7654. Until next time, stay outrageous, unreasonable, and relentless.